something we see in Rhode Island, man. You become punished for your success. Well, without any notice at all, UMass Dartmouth and a few other programs have been tossed out of the Mascac Conference. Imagine that the University of Massachusetts is being tossed out of the Mascac Conference. Maybe that comes with, 2 conference championships in a couple years, going to multiple bowl games, being in the tournament, but they will be in a new conference beginning 2025. That and more coming up. A lot of information to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was great. We actually practiced that.
It's federal. Richie Frank. Let's go. Come take a ride through my city life. See what my city's like. It's the city life. The summer's the shitty life. This is city living, mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard, private's my backyard. I run road out, you can call me a track star. And we a team, homie, all is one. I don't sleep until all is done. I ain't ruckus, so please don't call me Mr. 401. It's Mr. Rags, you can call me. I'm still in that 401. From where we was, look at all this come. For what it's worth, I put my all in the sun. Know that my city love it. I give about my city's budget, about my city's public, know how my city does
West Elmwood intruders. There's a lot of guys that deserve opportunities, but for some reason the city is fumbling. They're fumbling. They're really fumbling. I mean, we can get into it, Mike. You know the story. I was at Juanita Sanchez.
I have to thank, Coach Dino Campopiano and his staff over at Shea.
If you come out freshman year, man, I tell my nephew, we're building that foundation 7th, 8th grade, and we're on record in 9th grade.
We don't do no talking, we know what they do for the views. If I took the loss, no, I got it all back. They just wanna talk, so we gonna talk facts, yeah. Got it out the mud, yeah. Really on the blood, yeah. Yeah, they know it's on,
That's the bad guy. Bad guy. That's the bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy.
Commission.
The bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy.
Load up there.
Welcome back. It's the bad guy. What's going on? The only place where you could really get the real on what's going on behind the scenes in high school football, especially Rhode Island, man. If you have something that's concerning you about a program, something going on at your kid's sports program that you're just not feeling, man, you know what? You should have a voice. Reach out to me, DM me. Everything's 100% confidential. But what is going on over there at UMass Dartmouth, man? UMass Dartmouth's being asked to leave Mascac, pack up your shit, and go. Now, them and other programs, not only UMass Dartmouth, and this is being reported. It's pretty much getting out there. Major media has not picked this up yet, but we know a few people up there at UMass, but we're actually hearing that not only UMass, they're trying to shrink down to 8 members as of 2025. They wanted them out ASAP, but the NCAA said, no, pump your brakes. You technically cannot kick this one or that one out. I think you have to kick other people out that are in the conference. But besides UMass, Castleton football. Yep, Castleton. Imagine that. A team that wasn't even. A team that Mascac has been begging for a couple years to come over to our league. Imagine that. And you kick them out also. So not only Castleton, Corsairs football, UMass Dartmouth, PSU Panthers, and WestCon all were kicked out of the Mascac. According to sources, the Mascac core members were concerned that Little East Conference core members, the ones that were listed above now, some insiders are saying this is the spin that they're putting on it so they don't look like a bunch of dicks, because this was done without any notice at all, so sneakily, like nobody even really knew that this was coming at these programs. I just told you, Castleton was invited. They begged, listen, come over here to Mascac, come over here and play in this league. And all of a sudden, they have to leave as well. They must be like, yo, really? I got to say, man, expect these programs to, like, don't call off the dogs when the time comes. They thought that at Little East Conference core members, the ones that we mentioned, were going to eventually vote for a new Little East football conference that has yet there ain't even a Little East, there ain't even a conference yet. So this was the spin that they were actually putting on it. Further, according to sources, the ejected schools were provided little, if any, warning about the forced exit, meaning the schools are hurrying to find a solution. Some solutions, trying to find 2 more members, especially core members, is one option. Some new schools as options. It is believed that at Norwich football could be in the play as a new core member if another core member can be identified. So there's a couple different scenarios that they're looking to go. But aside from the New England conferences, other than the Mascac, there has been mention of at LL Athletes as a possible destination for at least one team. But the academic profile of the 4 schools could make this a tough sell. What do you think about that? Umass Darthmouth being kicked. Is this because, they have an unfair advantage, some say, on their work ethic? They recruit more kids than a lot of programs. They recruit good kids. They have what do you go, like 2 conference championships back to back. They went to bowl game. They went to a bowl game this year. They were in the playoffs in the tournament last season. The year before, another bowl game. Could that have something to do with it? Now, when they reached out to Mascac about this, weird, I just seen that. It says sources say the situation remains widely fluid because of the surprise move. Yeah, I would say the sneaky move, huh? The sneak attack by Mascac. A representative confirmed that those 4 will no longer be affiliated members in football beginning in 2025. They seem like Mascac seems like they have a problem with these schools. But declined to provide any comment as to why or how the separation occurred. There's a lot of context here and a lot of this stuff that I've been looking up, and I ain't really that closely with D3 football. But maybe the explanation I give, maybe, you could correct me if I'm wrong as we move on here. But what do you think about Umass Darthmouth, Castleton, a school that was courted to come to this division, is being kicked out as well? WestCon, what do you think about all of this? I mean, University of Massachusetts D3 football program is not allowed in the Massachusetts Athletic Conference. Like, serious? I mean, maybe just to give some people a little bit of background, but the Massachusetts State Collegiate Athletic Conference is a a Division III conference with 8 full members. Right, 6 of them sponsor football. They actually even host 3 affiliate members in football, namely Plymouth State, Umass Darthmouth, and Western Connecticut, all of whom are primary members of the Little East Conference, right, which does not currently sponsor football. So for 2024, the Mascac announced the addition of another football-only member who is Castleton. Castleton is starting this upcoming season. Who's also a full member of the LEC. Now I don't think the LEC even has, like they said, they don't sponsor football. So now it does go on to say that the 4 schools are going to be part of the Mascac this season. Will all be part of the Mascac for football in 2024, joining the 6 full members of the Mascac who play football for a 10-team conference. Hopefully this all makes sense to you, because we're about to introduce another conference into the mix, right? So the conference in which Castleton plays football this season, the 2023 season, is the Eastern Collegiate Football Conference, right? The ECFC. It's a football-only conference which has teams from conferences which do not sponsor football themselves. This season, they had 5 members. They had Alfred State from the AMCC, Gallaudet from the UEC, and Castleton from the LEC, right? Anna Maria and Dean, both from the GNAC. With Castleton leaving this upcoming season to go to Mascac, ECFC will play with 4 teams. But it seems likely that 2024 will be the last season for the ECFC. In October, some activity marked an exodus of the ECFC. First, Anna Maria announced that they were going to move their full membership from the GN Athletic Conference to the Mascac in 2025. So Anna Maria announced that they're coming over to the Mascac in 2025 and moving all sports into the Mascac, including football, which was put in the ECFC. Then a week later, Alfred State and Dean both announced that they were leaving from the conference in 2025. Alfred State would join the Empire 8 for football, while Dean would join the Mascac for football. I hope you're following all this, right? So Alfred State joins the Empire 8, and Dean would join Mascac. That would leave Gallaudet as the only member of the Eastern Conference in 2025. And now most likely either play as an independent or really have to find another conference to be an affiliate member in, right? So with all these moves completed, we could see that the Mascac would have 12 members for football in 2025. And these would 7 full members, 6 current ones, plus Anna Maria, an affiliate from the GNAC, Dean, and 4 affiliates from the LEC, Castleton, Plymouth State, Umass, Darthmouth, and Weston, Connecticut. You're following all this, because it's kind of confusing. And it gets even more confusing because the Mascac screwed shit up even more, right? That's not how things were going to turn out, right? Because Mascac announced their lineup for 2025, it only had 8 teams in it. We originally thought it was going to have 12 members for football, but no, it's going to have 8, and the teams were 6 current full members, Anna Maria and Dean, and the glaring omission, of course, and the 4 affiliate from the LEC, Castleton, Plymouth State, Umass, Dartmouth, and Western Connecticut. Now, these teams will play 2024 in the Mascac, but they will have to find a new home for 2025. See, they originally wanted them out this year, but the NCAA, they don't even know what they're doing. I mean, all 4 of these schools were kicked out with no notice. The full members of the Mascac were apparently concerned, right, that the LEC might start sponsoring football, which they don't sponsor right now. There's no program. So the Mascac booted them from the conference, and really, like, without any notice. And this is basically sending them scrambling to find somewhere to go for 2025. Now, a big if. Let me tell you, a big if. Let me get to that if right after this.
That's the bad guy. Bad guy. Bad guy. That's the bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy. Commission. The bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy.
Load up that queen.
Man, this is crazy. Like I was saying, a big if the LEC decides to start sponsoring football, a conference is going to need 6 members in order to receive an automatic bid to the D3 playoffs, right? So they would need to find 2 more members, right? Because they booted 4 of these schools out. I think that's dirty pool, man. Castleton must be like, wow, you just invited us to move over here. We come all the way over here, and now you're telling us we got to move? We're not welcome? Dirty pool. Tell me you didn't know that was going to happen to Castleton. Stop the cap. Now, Gallaudet is also looking for a home, right? So that could be another affiliate member. That's a big possibility. Norwich is also mentioned as a possibility. So there you would have your six schools for the LEC to do something. Now they play football in a NUMAC, but are primary members of the GNAC, right? This is just, I mean, I'm just speculating, but would it make sense if Dean was a big possibility? Could they be another one? Why was Mascac so upset to the point of throwing these schools out? Or is there something much bigger going on? Is there something much bigger at play? Is that why Mascac threw these teams out? So get out, grab your shit and get out. There's got to be something bigger playing here. But what is it? You think it could be other affiliates thinking about jumping to the LEC if the LEC does sponsor football? Now, if we look at the current, if we look at the current LEC schools, right, that are beginning to sponsor football in order to get up to 6 possibilities, including Umass Boston, Southern Maine. They explored adding football multiple times in the last couple of years from one article that I had to read this morning. Could these schools find another conference to be affiliated members in football? The Liberty League as a potential landing spot. But it also says the academic profile of these schools compared to the LL don't quite match up. Umass Dartmouth, Umass Dartmouth is actually looking at an opportunity in the Pac-12. That's a conference that would have Castleton, Oregon State, Plymouth State, Umass Dartmouth, Washington State, and Western Connecticut. This says it would be a transcontinental juggernaut, putting so-called super conferences like the SEC and the Big Ten to shame. I mean, Pac-12, I think that's the last option would be to have a 4-team conference, go independent. This would provide them with an automatic bid, except there's any more schools in a similar situation. If there are enough such schools, D3 does have a provision, what is called a Pool B bid. Now, that rule is that if the number of teams in the conference without auto bids plus independents is greater than the average size of a D3 conference, then those schools as a collective, which is called Pool B, receive one automatic bid to the playoffs. I mean, there really has not been a Pool B bid, but this many schools being cut, given the acts, could definitely be a possibility. Let me know what y'all think about this. Umass, Dartmouth, and some other programs. Castleton, Western Connecticut, given the acts from Mascac. Is it because these teams are just too good? Or are they working too hard? I mean, Umass Dartmouth builds a new dorm. You hear rumbles of an athletic complex that they plan to build in the future. I mean, everyone knows that their recruiting program, works by far a lot harder than a lot of other programs, especially here in Rhode Island, where this team actually averages 30 to 33 Rhode Island high school football players every year for the last couple of years on the Umass Dartmouth roster. So shout out to them. Shout out to all the coaches on that program. But what do you think? Umass Dartmouth pushed out of the Mascac beginning 2025 without any warning, without anything. I think that's some pretty shady shizzy. You know what I'm saying? But if you got something that's on your mind that you want to talk about, if you think you want to correct me, if you want to come on the show and talk about this topic, let me know. And we're trying to get Coach McCormick up in here for this Sunday, talk about what parents and recruits should be doing right now, whether you're a junior, whether you're a senior, how to get your transcripts, how important Twitter is, cleaning up your social media, so we're going to try to get Coach McCormick up on here this week. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this.
We don't do no talking, we know what they do for the views. If I took the loss, no, I got it all back. They just want to talk, so we gonna talk facts. Got it out the mud, Really on the blood, really on the blood. Yeah, they know it's on, they know it's on.
I love what Mikey does. Sometimes I'm like, yo, you over the edge, TMZ with it. But
the boy gonna do you something nasty.
I hate to say it, more times than not, he get the results he want.
Right, and to be honest with you, I honestly don't think it's over. Honestly, I think exactly what this state needs. We've always needed a platform where we can call out the nonsense,
the repercussions,
and give people the props that they deserve, and call out the people who are full of it. And honestly, I think that more and more people are starting to utilize Mike's platform for that. And honestly, I know a lot of folks. A lot of people talk to me, "Oh, Emerson, like you're on there and you talk this and you talk that," and I'm like, "Listen," I said, name one thing that he's been wrong about. And then there's silence.
But boy.
Right.
Because they know. Because honestly, like that stuff that's being exposed, they're like, oh damn, how did he find out about it? And again, Mike has his sources and I never get into that, but at the end of the day, what he exposes is the truth. And people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the watered down version. They want to hear, oh, well, I don't know how he found that out, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, they want to duck and dodge and this and that. And, you know, there's no need for that. It's like, okay, we need to bring a level of respect back to, you know, coaching and administration and stuff like that. And honestly, when people get called out like that, you know, they call out the nonsense. And that's exactly what we need.
Y'all better stop playing with that boy.
Oh, the alignment's good for football on second thought. Dude, you crapped on it this whole video, man.
Sitting there like I have no clue what I'm doing. Like I was just keeping my hands out of it and people were just taking shots at her left and right. And it was, I mean, for me, it was.
Dude, he said, I have no idea what I'm doing. We know that. But what you meant to say was like, I had nothing to do with this. No, you called out a parent. I have never, ever, ever called out a parent, man. Never crossed that line, man. That's unprofessional, man. You work for the Journal, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I told Mike, I said, I got my connections like Huggy Bear, but Mikey's more like J. Jonah Jameson. I don't know where he get it from. He'd be like, you know, I got an email. I'm going to call him out. I'm like, God damn, for real?
All right, man. Appreciate everything, man. We'll talk to you guys very soon, man. But UMass, Dartmouth, Castleton, you know, other programs being pushed out of the Mascac division, man. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we out of here.
We don't do no talking. We know what they do for the viewers.